Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
You're listening to The Mean Geek, comics podcasting on the very ragged, raw, leading edge of friggin' civility.
Right, we're here again. Episode 15. Somewhat of a almost milestone. We've been able to, keep ourselves together consistently enough to actually talk about comics and read them for 15 episodes. How many months? March? April? May? June? Starting our 5th month. Not too shabby. A couple of things to get out of the way ahead of time. Within the next 2 weeks, Kurt's Comics in Branford, Connecticut. In Connecticut, it's Kurt's. 85 Schoolhouse Road, Branford. Behind the Chowder Pot. Where you can find booze and then go get books. There's nothing better. So, they're having their grand opening sometime in the next 2 weeks. Grand re-opening. Everybody who is in this state should come on down, say hi, and buy tons of shit. We probably do a recording up there, but we'll see. Got a little surprise, which won't be much of a surprise to the Rev, since he guessed it, and I didn't bother saying anything about it, but the Mean Geek crew is going to Connecticut.
Oh, I'm what now?
We're going to Connecticut.
I don't believe I agreed to that. When the hell did this happen?
I mentioned the surprise. Here it is.
It's not a surprise. It sounds vaguely like labor.
No. You walk around, you buy a bunch of comics, you look at a bunch of hot chicks.
Oh, okay.
And,
You didn't buy a table or anything like that, though.
well, maybe.
What?
I'm finding out the prices tomorrow for a table. There's plenty of open spaces still.
Shocking.
And Kurt is at Cabo. Ooh, excuse me. Cabo.
Edit at
150.
Cabo
will be determining whether it's a good idea. It's the weekend of July 31st. There's plenty of time to save. Plenty of time to get off. We don't even have to do it on a Saturday. But I'm going. Going to be making an appearance and, buying a lot of shit. As the Rev checks his schedule to make sure it's possible for him. And we're just going to pause. And just in case Ian Levinstein is listening this episode, we do apologize, but we do note to everyone that we are on the edge of civility. Ooh. I'll explain that later one day, Rev. Don't worry about it.
Somebody else is on the edge of civility?
No. Let's jump right into Supergirl 42, huh? How about that? Don't pause. It's
confused.
not a video. Just jump. We're jumping in.
Oh, okay. Jumping.
All right. So, Superwoman got just Reactroned all to hell out of existence.
Super whacked is how I like to say it.
Super whacked. Turned out to be Lucy Lane. It was the better bet that it was her. Nobody was truly shocked, I think, about that.
Being as she was pretty much the only female option at that time.
Yes.
It's Lucy Lane or it's an entirely unknown person.
Yeah, which wouldn't be unusual in a DC comic, but
Given.
What are you going to do? So, General Lane is awfully pissed about this, but, we skip scenes and we go straight to Lois being incredibly taciturn and about to lose all her goddamn mind.
Well, her sister is dead, and she doesn't know that her father has come back from the dead.
Yeah, well, that would put a damper on your day. But I think this is one of the splash here, staring down at the coffee table with the piece of uniform. I think that's one of the better things I've seen Eigel do.
Yeah, my thing is, that is possibly the dullest splash page. It's a double 2 pages of 3 chicks staring at a piece of burnt clothing on a coffee table.
Okay, but 1, they're hot chicks. 2, it's incredibly well rendered. It's not an exciting scene, but it looks great.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's really was my only main point at that point.
Also, 3, it's a comic book. They're not hot chicks. They're drawings.
They're drawings of hot chicks.
You're
the
creeping
representative of hot chicks. They count as hot chicks.
You're freaking me out again.
That's my point of existence, really.
God will smite you.
Lois wants the story all over again. Kara explains and explains again, and Lois wants to make sure, so she asks him again. Goes through a bunch of scenarios like Parasite or a White Martian or a robot or a White Martian. White Martians can do that?
What? Shit look like other people? Sure. Don't you remember the original JLA storyline?
The White Martians?
Yeah, the ones that were invading. They showed up as superheroes.
No. I don't remember that at all.
That's how they relaunched JLA with...
Well, guess what I'll be rereading this weekend?
There you go.
Which is the 4th of July, by the way, folks. Make sure you go out, visit dead relatives, bang gongs, and watch some fireworks.
Dead relatives is part of the 4th of July?
Yes. And, read your fucking Constitution, too. There's important shit in there. It's kind of the point of the day. So...
I thought it was fireworks and alcohol.
Well, those are on top of it. They're like gravy.
That's some awesome gravy.
Yeah, it is. So Lois is having an incredibly difficult time coming to terms with this. And
Yeah, well, my sister was a supervillain, and my husband's pseudo-sister superhero killed her? Why, who would find that awkward?
And then she tries to explain it, of course, like, it was I was going to die or she was going to die, and she's like, well, you better take off.
Before I punch you.
You better take off. I'm telling you. And leave me in peace for analysis. Like, what's to analyze? The woman's dead.
Well,
So
some people have difficult times accepting things.
And then we move on to another scene where a rather large array of crazies start beating up on some Star Labs guards and release Major Krull. And
What a shitty movie.
And apparently Major Krull is Reactron, although I hadn't remembered that. Because all the time I've been reading this, it's been Reactron. There's been I don't remember anything about Major Krull. So Lana and Kara have a little heart-to-heart, and they decide, they're still buds, and they hug, and she flies away. She's going back to New Krypton to see what's going on over there.
Yes, but Lana has a secret of her own.
They all have secrets
And
of
a
their
mystery phone call, which suggests
Ring, ring.
a Lana lesion.
A what?
A Lana lymph node. She's got cancer, doofus.
Oh, that, yeah.
Well, it's a theory, but,
Yeah, almost certainly. She's either pregnant or has cancer. I mean, there's only a couple of different things that I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry. Well, that's not pregnancy, so it's cancer. Or some incredibly bizarre and made-up disease just for the comics. That's possible.
Rot your cock off.
But, no. I so totally wasn't expecting that. Hawkeye, number 3. This guy gets more and more fun every issue because he just gets more and more twacked the fuck out. He destroys an entire store of mannequins in a dream. What do you think?
I'm enjoying it thus far. I mean, it's not really delving any deeper into the personality of Bullseye because he doesn't have one. I kill people because I like it is not a personality. So it's not like, years ago with the Suicide Squad when you had the Deadshot one-shot there or miniseries, you're not delving into the personality of what makes Bullseye Bullseye. You're just like, am I crazy or is there another Bullseye trying to kill me?
Oh no, he's twacked the fuck out. But I was kind of mildly... The details of the conversation with the psychiatrist... That was kind of irritating because every conversation you ever read in media or TV or books eventually you're going to come across the stupid, I have a friend, can't you just give him pills? Oh, you can give him pills. Let me give him the pills. I know you're twacked. I know you're fucked in the head. Just admit you want the fucking pills.
Yeah, but let's be fair here. I think you're missing a key point.
Yeah?
He's
They
not
really
going-
wanted to delve into Norman?
No. He's not going to a doctor. He's going to an ex-psychiatrist turned supervillain turned superhero.
Well,
If somebody was ever going to be free with a friggin' pad, Moonstone would be at the top of the genre. Right?
This is true, but he's still playing it off like he wants to talk about Norman and not himself.
Because
It's just a trope. You know? It irritates me when I read things like that over and over and over again. And then everybody's favorite muckraker comes in. Muckraker?
yes, I know.
Ben Urich. He gets the PTSF file. What was that standing for again?
Pulled Tallywhacker stupid.
That's totally not it. Peace through superior firepower. Which I used to have a bumper sticker with the Aliens Colonial Marines and that logo on.
Of course you did.
I absolutely did. It was a great bumper sticker. I never actually put it on the car because I didn't want to waste it. Just so you know, kids, the Rev just did a face palm. And then Hawkeye starts taking handfuls of pills, even though it says do not exceed stated dose, which is 1. He leaves himself a note, remember who you are. He goes out and sees Norman's assistant there, and she gets the idea that old boy's all kinds of fucked up,
Which is a safe bet.
and makes a call. And eventually, we find a big fight with himself and his multiple man copies. I didn't know Jimmy Madrox had access to that many bullseye uniforms.
Well, you know, when you've got a government budget.
Well, there is that. And of course, he thinks, I'll kill them all, and then I'll be free. Who's first? So, that's how that one ends. I like it.
It's a fun book though so far.
Yep. I'm not going to get into too much deeper into too many other Dark Reign things, because that's just money out the door, man. Alright. Dark Avengers 26.
I can't believe you didn't buy the Lethal
Mighty
Legion.
Avengers. What?
I cannot believe you didn't buy the Lethal Legion.
No, I don't like that. Ain't my bag. We forgot to announce what we were drinking tonight.
Beer?
What kind of beer?
Oh, hey, okay. Smith Wick.
In the colloquial of New England, Smittix.
From the Brewers of Guinness. Superior ale brewed and matured by traditional methods.
In Milwaukee.
The brewery of St. Francis Abbey in Kilkenny, Ireland, has been in operation since 1710. Smithick is Ireland's oldest ale. Inspired by John Smithwick's original recipe, this ale delivers a distinctive amber color, full-bodied taste, and ultra-smooth finish. Why do ads for beer always sound vaguely pornographic?
Almost. Make sure you buy a 6 tonight, kids. You give me that head shake like, why am I still talking to this guy? Mighty Avengers 26. They're trying to get they're trying to head off the loss of all Pym's little extra dimensional laboratories there.
Yeah, but in particular one Super Doodad.
Yes, that Reed Richards has.
No. He's trying to get a Super Doodad to protect his Uber Super Doodad
Yes, and
from
he
being
needs-
lost.
He needs the mini doodad from Reed to power the mid-sized doodad,
To
get
protect
the
the
Uber,
Uber
doodad.
All the Doodad day.
Now, maybe it's me, But I know Hank is crazy. I know Hank is twacked. I know he's... But why is he kissing Jocasta?
I don't know. Last I knew he was banging, or Tiger was banging him. I'm always kind of confused.
Which, I don't know what's creepier, man. Furries or Shinies?
Shinies?
What the fuck else are you going to call somebody who bangs robots?
Tech Jedi?
No. I've never banged a robot.
You've never found a robot that was willing.
If you can get me one of those Japanese ones they've been making lately.
No, sir.
You don't know. You haven't seen them.
That's true, I have not.
But no, I mean, really, how is that? That is a visual that they wanted, but they gotta know that. I mean,
Creepy.
Well, aside from it being creepy,
No,
she's totally metal. I'm sure they wanted to get across the fact that Hank is getting further toward the edge all the time, and as a result, getting creepier all the time. I can believe that.
We need Hank Pym super villain. Like, he just totally go to the other side.
It's happened so many times.
He should stay there.
Forever?
Yes.
That never happens in comics.
Exactly.
They won't do it. So they decide to make an assault upon the Baxter building, and Reed sends Sue and the kids away. And I thought Franklin was supposed to be older than this by now. Did they retcon something? And
Their ages seem to fluctuate. Also, why would you send the one who makes shields away when you're under attack?
Well, yeah, there is that. And another thing I'm curious about. Why the fuck is Herbie back?
I don't want to live in a world without Herbie, and obviously neither does Bendis.
Yeah, but you're thinking of the Love Bug.
No, are you kidding? Herbie's the best robot. Well, barring R2-D2.
Sends 400 ants with masking technology in, and he says, Pym. Like it's some revelation when he found an ant that Hank was involved. That's not, I mean, I better tell Herbie it was Pym. Quit shaking your head and say something useful.
What do you want from me? All right, you've got masking technology on ants. All right, I literally read this issue like, what the fuck?
Then Johnny Storm's living it up like usual. Going to town with the girls. Getting a little photo shoot going. And he gets attacked by... What the fuck? Comrade. The Red
Menace.
Red Ghost.
Red Ghost.
Red Ghost.
Oh, the old-time spy. Yeah, old school.
No, I remember now. I remembered the character. I couldn't remember the name. But, wow, the Red Ghost... Who besides Bendis would pull out the Red... Well, actually, it's Slott, so never mind Bendis.
No, that's right. Slott took over for this one.
So Slott might have done that. I can see Slott doing that. So, and then Hercules is using an image inducer to look like the Red Hulk. Reed blows up like a balloon again, because I never get tired of an orb with a great big 4 on it.
I have no idea how to respond to that sentence. Literally none.
It looks like a damn pool ball. So they get in there and they start having their argument.
And in the end, all that happens after all this, a bunch of weird little ant things, a bunch of distractions that result in some semi-lame fights that don't actually happen, anything happens in. Pym goes, hey, look at this. And Reed looks at it and goes, hey, that should not be destroyed. Here's your original doodad. Really?
It is very Reed, though. You show him something compelling, he'll go for it. Although, those 6 pages with him going, I'll close half the distance, and then I'll close half the distance, and then I'll close half the distance.
It was not a great book.
That's a freshman physics question right there. If you only ever close half the distance at a time, will you ever get there? Well, no, dumbass. Why do you constantly bring that thing up? I don't know how many times I've read that in sci-fi and stuff, and they think it's some awesomely deep thing that, oh, you'll never get there because you'll only ever get halfway there. Yeah. Hi. How are you? I get it. Right. Power Girl number 2. Oh, you don't like the Power Girl. Long pause.
Her only basis at this point is that she is the uber tits of the DC universe. Like, literally, give her a B cup and she does not have her own book. She's not in the JSA anymore.
No, she can pull this off. It was a decent fight with the Ultra Humanity.
Ultra Humanite?
Humanite sounds dumb.
It's a monkey.
It's a rather large gorilla with a human brain.
Yes, which they go into his origin and how he has sex with human women. So I'm going with rather dumb as an overall theme.
Well, I could have done without the sex with the human women, but I didn't actually know the Humanites' origin.
Why would you?
Yeah, well, that's kind of my point, but come on, this is a fun book so far.
I'm a big fan of the artist.
2 issues in, it's fun.
It is. I will say that I would like to see some build.
Well, it's 2 issues.
Yeah, but what do you know about Power Girl? What's her real name?
Kara something.
Okay. What city is she in?
Karen Starr.
What city is she in?
That's her real alias now. It should be Star City, right?
What job does she have?
She is the owner of a software company.
Okay. Well, you're doing pretty good so far. But think about it, like these. You're not like, oh yeah, da 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 da. You're like, you've read 2 issues of her new book. You're vaguely sure of her real name.
No, it's Karen Starr.
Okay.
Because I was still thinking of Supergirl. And
You're betting on Star City, which is, I thought, the Green Arrow. I think you might be making that part up. The software company, the Tech Jedi, remembers. Shocking. Does she have any backup characters in her origin or comic?
she's got a couple that got introduced in the last issue, the first issue, so they have not had time to develop. I mean, it's been 60 pages. What do you want, man?
Well, more than the Ultra Humanite, obviously.
Well, they got to give her a... That's going to sound bad.
No, finish it.
They got to give her a bang to start.
That does sound bad. You were absolutely right not to finish that thought.
That was like back when we recorded at the store. We were trying to figure out who was going to be Batman. And I stopped myself from saying, if they're going to give me anything, they got to give me dick.
Not your finest moment. Does Power Girl have like
which
a
you can hear
nose?
directly, kids, if you just go download episode 7. Did Power Girl what?
Who are her villains?
Aside from the Ultra Humanity, nobody. She's always been in a group. She hasn't had time to.
She had her own book at one point.
She did?
I'm pretty sure.
When? Kids, if you can tell us when Power Girl's original solo book was
you,
published.
kids! I'm never giving that damn comic up. You've lost your chance as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
write in all you damn well want. You ain't getting a goddamn thing from me.
We'll give you the shirt then.
I've tried. I've been nice. I've made fun of furries. I've done everything you can ask from the internet without starring in homemade porn. And I haven't gotten a goddamn letter from one of you. As far as I'm concerned, you people can go jump off a boat onto a bigger boat that crashes into a goddamn huge boat and sinks to the bottom of a giant fucking ocean.
Remember, kids, edge of civility.
You can kiss my ruby red reverend ass.
Which is, actually a rather good point. I know there's somebody out there who's listening to this thing. Say something. Please, we'd love to hear you say, you guys need to fuck off because you suck.
You realize that all we're going to get is somebody saying that exact thing now.
You know what? It's something.
Hey,
bad publicity is good publicity.
Not on the internet.
Well, sure, yeah, notoriety.
We're on a comic book webcast. What kind of goddamn notoriety do you think you're going to achieve here?
Well, let's see. Who can we...
Tech Jedi bangs Paris Hilton. Not going to happen.
It could.
Tech Jedi gets banged by Perez Hilton, maybe.
All right, let's move on to the next page.
Yeah,
where the
Perez Hilton killed it for
where
you.
the JSA is fighting the Ultra Humanities little robots there who are keeping Manhattan, or wherever it is, Star City, Coast City, certainly not Central City. City. No, it was Manhattan.
City State.
No, it is Manhattan.
Why Manhattan?
Huh?
Okay,
Manhattan.
I believe
They're
you.
in
Why?
Manhattan.
I'm asking. How do you remember?
Because I remember the scene where they said, I will drop the whole island.
Ooh.
How many, Gotham's not an island. Metropolis ain't an island.
No man is an island.
You're a jackass. So,
But I am not an island.
there are days when I hate you. So we find out in the backstory that Ultra Humanity has an incredibly disgusting and creepy girlfriend. I mean, she walks around in the jungle with a slick back haircut and a bikini top, and she flips people off, and she gets hot when she sees the great white gorilla. And then she completes the transplant, and she rides him into battle.
My question is, do you think she stopped with the Ultra Humanite, or do you think she's also banged Kongorilla, Detective Chimp,
Grodd.
Beppo,
Beppo.
Grodd? Grodd's a good choice. I mean, is she just riding the monkey train from beginning to end?
God, I hope not, because that's not something I need in my comic books.
I mean, just imagine the one-shot Kongorilla versus the Ultra Humanite, one man's Punani.
Ah! That would have to be up on the top shelf.
I can't reach the top shelf.
You can reach the top shelf. So they end it with the Ultra Humanity cutting through Kara's skull and finally getting to blood. So this must be some really hardcore drills right there.
Another small but important point for me. The Ultra Humanite, the monkey banging his evil girlfriend, who I believe is no longer in the picture because she freaked him out.
Right.
But how bad was she that he'd rather be a chick than a monkey that gets ass? Like, if you are literally and to be fair, as I've already opened the possibility that he's not the only monkey getting ass, but he's one of the few. And you're willing to give that up to become not even the same sex that you were before you started driving a monkey around town.
Driving a monkey.
How bad were things for you?
Driving a monkey around town.
That's what I said. I don't feel the need to repeat it.
Kids, if you can show us a picture of somebody driving a monkey around town.
I will vomit and still not send you a goddamn thing.
Now, that's great. We move over to the new Paul Dini and Dustin Wynn book, Batman Streets of Gotham.
Doesn't that sound like a fucking PlayStation game?
Yeah, it
Streets
does.
of Gotham.
It totally does.
Where they're driving around in their souped up cars waiting for Batman to pull them over and issue citations.
I don't know about this, man.
I thought Paul Dini was one of your favorite Batman writers.
He is, but I don't know that I need so many goddamn Batman books. And one day we're going to talk about saturation of books. Remember that. Yeah, big words. I said it.
Huh?
So they bust up a child prostitution ring there. Except they don't really bust it open because they leave and then leave the girl on the corner, which seems kind of unethical and pointless to me.
But who was that busting it up?
It was somebody.
Yes, I'm not sure it was the
Time
hero.
for a pause. It was
Edit at.
It was some random schmo that they didn't really
Exactly.
identify. But it looks like it could be the Thing. Could Could have at least... Actually, you know, a dollar says his name is simply Abuse.
Okay.
From the stamp in the guy's forehead, from the brass knuckles there.
That would suck.
Yeah, that would be a bad name. I couldn't really get behind a book whose first major villain was Abuse.
I'm just saying, you know, abuse? A bus? No, it's abuse. I'm going to punch you with my brass knuckles now. Also, let's be fair. Like, how do you go to the fucking emergency room with abuse in your forehead and not look bad? I mean, admittedly, he deserves to look bad. He's a dirty pedophiliac. But still, I mean, awkward.
Now, there is a bonus, because while we were mishandled poorly with the Abuse character, we are given the Firebug back.
That's right. Firefly. One of your favorites of the B.
On the B list, he's up pretty high.
Yes. I'm not saying he's, you know, it's like, Two-Face is okay, but give me a good Firefly story anytime. I'm not implying that. I'm simply saying, as far as B-level Batman villains go, you like Firefly.
And as far as we
so
know...
does Joss Whedon.
Yes, he totally does. And as far as we know, this is pretty much the new Batman and Robin's second adventure together. Because we already got the one with the Toad happening.
Right.
So, this must be second.
I just assume they're all separate but equal.
Yeah, well, you're one of those non-continuity people.
It's easier.
Yeah, and one day we'll talk about that as well. So, there's a backup story now in this.
Yeah, a lot of them are doing
Manhunter.
it. But yay.
Which I had never read before, but I have heard many people say was absolutely phenomenal, and she totally deserves her own book again. And from this mere, 10, 12 pages of backup, I was like, yeah, okay.
I remember...
She's mad. She goes after people. But they're bringing back Jane Doe.
I like Jane Doe.
Jane Doe was a nut.
Yes.
Which is not exactly something that's going to surprise anybody who reads Batman books. Because 90% of his villains that aren't monsters...
Now, what book was Jane Doe introduced in?
That was... it wasn't Shadow of the Bat. It was probably Legends of the Dark Knight.
It was Arkham Asylum. Remember her slot?
Introduced?
Wasn't that her first?
Maybe. I only remember one story from her. And it wasn't too bad. But... And now we go...
Or
on.
Silent, not... Living Hell, the Dan Slott's Arkham Asylum backup.
Oh, yes, that one.
There we go.
Yes. So, and then we're going to talk about one of my current top fives, being Invincible Iron Man. I had such a good time seeing the Crimson Dynamo again. I couldn't believe that. I was like, yeah. LaRocca's art, I'm telling you, it just keeps getting better all the time. I love this guy. If I had an opportunity to get some original art, I would love to have this second page right here.
Which one's it? That is a cool page.
Yeah, where he's just...
It's a well-drawn book. It's an interesting book right now. I'm not entirely sure about the Pepper Jarvis thing, but...
Yeah, that's kind of curious.
But it's not terrible, and the rest of the book, it's definitely enthralling. You're very curious about it.
I love the Crimson Dynamo, man. But how weird does Tony look, clean-shaven and buzz-cut?
Yeah, I'm not caring for that.
That's kind of bugging the shit out of me, actually.
I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache.
Now, what's this development on the bus? Who is this lady with the...
That's, the ex-director of S.H.I.E.L.D. there.
Oh, that's Hill.
Yep.
That's Maria Hill. Yeah.
Yep, and then she's out commenting to the Black Widow.
She didn't really look like Maria Hill in that shot there.
Well, she's bugging out.
She's got the flashlight in her face and she's got the knife up to his throat. Yeah, she's going bug fuck.
Well, she has been through a lot.
Yeah, that is true. She lost her fucking job. She's on the run.
Somebody was controlling her personality only an issue ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these things weigh on a person, even a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
So Pepper finally got herself a superhero nom de guerre.
Oh, I don't remember it. Crap. What
Did I
was
say
it?
that correctly? Nom de guerre?
War name?
Yes.
Yeah. What is it? Shit.
It's so incredibly simple, and yet so to the point, it can't help but be a classic.
What is it?
She's now known as Rescue. Don't stick your tongue out. Nobody can see that.
Look, I'm not trying to entertain the masses here. That's your gig. I sit here and make fun of shit. And sometimes...
Well, how do you think we're entertaining people?
I'm not trying to do that, though.
People don't laugh at what I say.
That's true. Look, rescue? Really? Come on.
That's
Can we
what
get
That's what it says. It is now, thinks Pepper Potts. It is now, thinks Rescue.
That is not a good name.
Well, I mean, what do you want to call her? The Iron Secretariat?
Look, just bear with me. Repeat the following sentence and tell me it doesn't blow dog. Hi, I'm a random cartoon character. I was in a tragic accident the other day, but fortunately, Rescue rescued me.
There are points to your argument. So, after Rescue flies away, Tony and Dimitri are discussing where the remaining safe houses are and where he can get some of the few remaining armor sets. And they find one in Russia, so they agree to go. But then the way to go is for Tony to borrow a Crimson Dynamo suit, which was kind of neat. I like the design of it. It looks a little bit bulky for my taste.
That was a clever concept. My major issue is how many goddamn Iron Man suits are lying around?
That's a damn good question, because in Dark Avengers we see at least 24. At least.
I mean, I know the man is rich half the time, broke the other half of the time, but maybe he'd still have a little capital of his own if he didn't have fucking suits of armor throughout the goddamn world.
This is a good point. But there ain't many left. Most of them are inoperative, so he's just scrounging for parts. But how satisfying was it for the general in Russia to tell Norman Osborn to fuck off? I enjoyed this little scene quite a bit.
Little Norman freak out there.
Yeah. Then, Norm loses his shit, breaks his desk, throws his laptop across the room. And all he's really got to say about it is, gonna need new stuff. Then Natasha is running around, and she's been made. Someone knows who she is. But who is it?
They tell you it's...
Yeah, they tell us, but she doesn't know.
Yes, she does. She talks about how shocked she is Hill is freaking out.
And then, in yet another turn, how many
roads?
How many? What?
How many roads must a man
No,
walk
that's
down?
not it.
No.
How many frequent flyer miles does fucking Madame Mask have now? She's been all over the goddamn place in these books lately, and now she's after Rescue. She's about to blow her right off the face of the planet.
I return now for a moment to the Illuminati miniseries. I slept with Madame Mask. Who's Madame Mask? Woman who looks like Dr. Doom. Why would you sleep with a woman who looks like Dr. Doom? Moving on. And that's what we're doing. You bring Madame Mask in, I leave.
Alright, we're going to change pace a little bit and go back to Batman 687. Although we might have done this at one point. No, as a matter of fact, we did. We did this last week, so we're not going to bother with it. I don't know how that got mixed in the way it did, but... So, Superman Batman 61.
Lex Joker.
Lex Joker. The other mashup ones, the Jimmy Two-Face, Doomstroke, Brainy Cat.
Yeah, I thought Doomstroke was the worst till I hit Brainy Cat.
Yeah. And then the Ventrilomaker, which is almost kind of...
That was clever.
Works together. And Lana Quinn. And the Penguello.
That was horrible but hysterical.
Metallo and the Penguin mashed up
into a
Penguello.
tiny penguin skeleton robot with an umbrella. So dumb and so brilliant, I don't even have words.
It's some funny stuff. I love this. Ravana mashup with Zatanna and Raven. And it all turns out that it's what?
It's an evil plot by someone who's invaded their dreams.
Woo! And I wonder who that could be. Could it be Dr. D?
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh! I really didn't think that fucking Dr. D would ever show the fuck up again, man. The last time I saw him was Sandman.
No.
Last time I saw him.
Dr. D, where's he?
Well, yeah, when the hell else was he around?
Arkham Asylum.
Really? Clearly I have to reread Arkham Asylum.
Dr. D, I think he's made at least 1 or 2 appearances since then, but...
Well, the book doesn't precisely amaze me at points, but I do really dig it.
It is a fun read.
It's totally out of continuity, which is just fine, because you can do crazy shit like Penguello.
Penguello made it for me, really.
Why don't I have a hard time believing that Penguello works for you?
Much as I hated Jimmy Two-Face, I totally enjoyed Penguello. And wanted to see more. I was like, where's the Penguello?
Now, whose dream is it, really?
Both of theirs. That's why they both have to break out separately.
Well, no, not between Batman and Superman.
Oh, okay.
Between Batman and Zatanna. Oh. Who really wants who there, huh? She totally wants him.
Batman is kind of like Wolverine in the DC universe, where every heroine's like, I get kind of wet thinking about Batman. Just walk by, they're like, what is it about this aloof, attractive, non-powered douchebag? Because let's face it, when he talks to other heroes, Batman is a bag o' douche.
Oh, he's a totally imperious, I'm so much more above it than you are.
And they all sit there and go, apparently, comic book women particularly like douchebags.
Well, I guess he is right.
Yeah. I am far above you mentally and perhaps even physically. Also, I'm rich.
I'm insanely rich. I'm the kind of rich that warps minds.
I mean, even Black Canary married a watered-down black man, Batman wannabe. I'm just saying.
And then we actually go back an issue because I totally messed up our stack. And you know what? We're not going to bother with that one because I messed up the stack. Mighty Avengers 25, where they get ready
to
go invade the Baxter building.
Yeah, we really covered that.
Yeah, we're done here.
Ants with masking technology.
Dark Avengers 5. This thing just keeps getting better and better.
It's a solid book so far.
I'm kind of mad that I like it so much because it's one more book I got to lay out money for.
That's true.
And if anybody knows me, kids, I'm a cheapskate. I will bargain for any discount of any type I can, anywhere, at any time.
This is not a lie.
One of the few phrases I remember from my 2 years in Korea 15 years ago was how to ask for a discount. Gagak Jusel.
What?
Gagak Jusel.
I'm never going to need that. You don't have to teach me that.
Jusel is just please.
Oh, well, nice of you to say please.
Well, I mean, you're going to want to know it one day, should you ever meet up with a Korean in a convenience store, liquor store, and you would like beer.
Actually, cash usually works
you would
pretty
say,
good for that.
make ju jusel.
Google?
Make ju.
Make ju.
Make ju.
I don't trust you not to be telling me, like, bang me in the ass, Mr. Korean man. I have no faith in you not to lie to me to use other languages for your own amusement. I enjoy being slapped with a penis.
It would never do that.
That's horrible. And I don't. First off, I won't be able to remember. Second off, I won't be able to pronounce. And third, I do not trust you enough to even try these phrases.
And this is what 20 years of friendship gets you, guys. Pay attention to that. Your best buddy probably isn't.
Oh, I totally am. I just know I'm your best buddy because I don't trust you. And you know damn well not to trust me.
Right.
I created a fake Facebook account for you.
Norman Osborn. Going on TV and totally refuting everything Clint Barton said.
Sure.
Effectively.
Sure, I've been a crazy supervillain. But who hasn't? And then you think about it for a second. You're like, in the Marvel Universe, that's a valid argument. I think Aunt May had superpowers at one point.
Yes, that's true. That's absolutely correct. It was a short period. It was a very strange period. But she did have them. So, and then, just like Bendis, and this is something that I'm getting kind of tired of, this non-linear stuff. Oh, let's do something now. Oh, how about what happened 6 hours ago? Oh, what are we doing now? Oh, what about something that happened 15 minutes ago?
Wow. All this is doing is reminding me how annoyed you got watching Memento.
I was not that annoyed. But there's only so many times you can do this stuff, though. Like I said with his dialogue last week, everybody's constantly questioning and re-questioning with the same question. Are we doing this? Yes. We're really doing it. Yes. So we're going to do it. I fucking said yeah, man!
Hey. People question.
Yeah, but do I have to read it 4 times in a row?
Yes.
Fuck you.
I didn't read it. Don't blame me.
I blame Brian Michael.
Bubba.
I blame Brian Michael.
Okay.
Bendis.
Go right ahead. I'm not stopping you.
I blame you, Bendis.
You have been blamed.
Befriend me on Comic Space. So
Yeah, because that's how that works. I blame you for your writing and your use of questions and your non-linear storytelling. Can we be friends?
weirder things have happened on the internet.
Well,
So then the Iron Patriot has a little tete-a-tete with Bob there. You still love it so much that there's a superhero named Bob, don't you?
Bob.
You do. So, did you expect a Ghostbusters reference in this?
No, but it made me very happy.
I was quite happy with it. I'm Bob. I don't think you are right now. Who am I? You're not the Void. No? Because there is no Void. Yikes. There is no Dana, only Zool. Shh.
Now, you're actually reading right now, for the first time, the whole Century miniseries.
Yes. And I'm almost done with it.
And what do we think?
For the most part, it's kind of talky. It's kind of talky, and occasionally I have to work past Jay Lee's incredible sketchiness.
Oh, I love Jay Lee.
You're welcome to him.
Yeah. Well, all right. I love his art. Let me amend quickly.
I don't dislike him, but in a book that big, it's kind of a large chunk of sketchiness to be absorbing at once. Am I right?
I love that miniseries. Loved it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with his storyline. So, again and again and again, there is no Void, Bob. Uh-oh. There is no Void. Then say it with me, Bob Reynolds. Say it. Bob. Say it with me. Lindy! That's not what I said, Bob. No. But that is the next line.
You're really just reading this verbatim. That's how low we've gotten, kids. We don't even comment on them anymore. We just read them in one silly voice. Say it with me. Lindy! That's not what I said, Bob. Really, that's the level we've hit.
Actually, that's not what I said, Bob, was all me. But you see my point, though. So, they go through that little thing, and he gets them to relax, and everything's cool. And then they go back to Clint Barton going off again.
It is what he does.
Well, I mean, he wasn't... no, Osborn... Hi, how are you?
What the hell was that? If you have a seizure, I am kicking you out into the yard and locking the damn door.
I had like 4 different sentences I wanted to get out right then, and none of them really wanted to start. Norman is using the argument that, oh, well, yeah, of course I was a criminal, so was Clint Barton. Everybody trusts him now. But he was a criminal 20 years ago. He wasn't a very good one, and he never fucking killed anybody.
To be fair, it was a different time.
Well, yeah, there's that, but
I mean,
you can't compare a thief with a genocidal maniac like fucking Norman Osborn.
well, he was the Green Goblin. He spent most of the time trying to kill Spider-Man. Hell, J. Jonah Jameson wants to do that. He's a mayor.
Yeah, but he didn't kill. J. Jonah didn't kill Gwen Stacy.
No, but he's hired the friggin' Scorpion like 32 times.
Well, yeah, that and the Spider Slayer squad.
His son's a werewolf. I mean, all I'm saying is...
An astronaut werewolf.
Which is creepy.
Which has got to be somebody's wet dream.
Yeah, the White Queen
Probably a
is
furry's
sides.
wet dream, but,
Yeah. That makes sense, actually, sadly.
What about the White Queen?
The White Queen has changed sides, and she's slaughtered people.
Yes.
Sabretooth has been a good guy.
She's technically an X-Men now, so everybody hates her anyway. The general public inside the Marvel Universe isn't going to trust her know-how.
Hey, Wonder Man's a hero. He killed almost an entire culture.
Nobody really cares about Wonder Man once he stopped making movies.
That and he wears red sunglasses in public.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have optic blasts to hold back, so he's just kind of gay.
Yeah, he really is. And you know what? The gayest part is the name Wonder Man.
I'm Simon.
Oh, dear God.
Another face palm. Now, of course, this brings up many questions. Was I the Green Goblin? Yes. Yes, I was. And he's on TV, and he's got his head down, and he's all very... It's not a secret. I wasn't trying to hide it. And you just dying for him to just have a tear come down to get the right amount of sympathy from the dumb general American public in the Marvel Universe.
I was just waiting, actually, for Mephisto to show up and then make a deal, and then it would be brand new Goblin, and everyone would forget that he was ever the Green Goblin.
Don't give them any fucking ideas. Casada, if you ever hear this, don't use that idea.
What, did you know how much bank I could make if they use that idea? I've got I already came up with the term Goblinita, so, I'm there for you. Also,
Right.
Captain America, bring back the porcupine. He's missed.
He is not missed. I would rather read another armadillo story than the porcupine.
The armadillo is out there somewhere.
Yeah, I think he's in the Initiative.
Because he broke out in the original Avengers.
Yeah. Alright, so then Ares is going apeshit on the rest of the Dark Avengers because, they want to be dipsticks and whoa, what are you doing?
I'm kicking
Quit
things
breaking
accidentally.
things. They want to fight with each other. So Ares just says, Bullseye. Whack! This bitch slaps him. Don't nod, speak.
Well, I got nothing. He bitch slapped him. I mean, what? Not everything you say requires commentary. One cartoon character slapped another.
So they're back on TV again, and they're running back through how Clint Barton, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver were all villains at one point, and then Clint Barton was Goliath, and every other panel has Norman looking so earnest. So earnest. Because it's important to be earnest.
The importance of being earnest. An Oscar Wilde reference on the Mean Geek.
Yeah, you would never have expected it, would you? And just a couple hours ago, you were saying I was... No. You're saying my level of culture was peculiar in my beer snobbery as compared to everything else.
Have you actually read The Importance of Being Earnest?
Fuck no.
Have you read anything by Oscar Wilde?
God, no.
Then I stand by my initial statements, motherfucker.
Just because you are assigned to do that shit because you got a English degree.
I was never assigned to read Oscar Wilde.
How could you not be?
There's a lot of shit out there. Some shit I just read. Snoogans.
UConn is clearly lacking in their literary program.
Well, what are you going to do?
I have no idea. Not go to school.
Well, you did that.
Yes. That's been established. Yeah, so there's just talk. Bendis loves his talking. Quit staring at me.
Talk. All right, just move on from this book. If that's a level of commentary. It's a fun book. You should read it. The Tech Jedi is a freak.
And I'm sure... Nope. We did this one too. Storming Paradise, right?
Those all blend together.
Number 6. The last one.
Is that the final one?
Yes.
It's done?
Yeah.
Great gods almighty, I'm free at last.
You're an evil bastard.
You know, it was a concept that wasn't necessary, and they didn't do anything to make it more necessary. Was it a terrible book? No. The art was passable, the writing was passable, everything about it was passable, but at any point in the 6 issues of this series where you're sitting there going, oh my god, this is why I bought this book. No.
No, you're right.
It's not horrendous. It's not at any point it wasn't like reading The Haunted Tank where I'm like, holy shit, I want to punch somebody involved in the making of this. I wasn't like that. It just simply was, what happens if we invade instead of dropping the atomic bomb? And it turns out nothing particularly interesting.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for a little break. We'll be right back. Alright, kids, to wind this up, we're going to go semi-old school here. We're going to see some shit that we've seen before, and we don't really We don't really see the necessity of revisiting. Starting with New Mutants number 2.
Yay.
You're not yaying with any kind of conviction there.
Yeah, I wonder why.
We have our standard team of Cannonball, Sunspot, Magma, Magic, Karma, and Danny Moonstar. All facing off against Legion. Don't stick your tongue out.
It's
It doesn't
horrible.
help.
It's so freaking horrible. At what point were they reading this? First off, no one has given a shit about any of these characters in so long.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember when Cannonball was talked about to become the new leader of the X-Men? And he was a leader of the new... And come the fuck... And Sunspot? The only one of these characters that's had any sort of pertinent value in the last 10 years is Magic with a K, which is just grammatically horrible to begin with. And that was when she reverted to a 4-year-old and died. That's her big addition to culture, is to go back in time and die.
But it's not really Shan. It's not really Legion. It's Shan in Legion.
Oh, that just is so horrible.
Ain't it? I mean, how many times can you do that thing? Can you? I mean, is that like being born again? Can you be born again and again and again, like some sequential art Gabor sister?
Good Lord. Apparently. I mean, when did Legion come back, first off?
Right now. Number 1.
Okay. That he was not, so we don't know why he's back.
Right.
And why does he have evil clowns in his head?
That is a damn good question that I cannot answer. And who this 8-year-old they're trying to rescue is totally blew by me. I don't know what she's all about.
Gonna go back in time.
It's who knew we'd have a Huey Lewis reference tonight?
I'm sorry, it's appalling.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of this is, man. Where have they been? Why is everybody pissed at Magic? Why does Legion still have that fucking kid and play haircut?
Nice question. Honestly, you know what this is? It's Degrassi High, The Further Adventures of. It's a show I didn't watch, coming back years later, trying to recreate something that I didn't like in the first place.
Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Is that really a show?
That's a true show.
Ooh, God. No, I mean, New Mutants was not a great book till Bill Sienkiewicz took over the art from me. In the Bill Sienkiewicz period, I loved the art.
Yeah.
And I read it as a result. And Claremont was writing it back when Claremont could still write, and X-Men were still convoluted, but not to the point where it was unreadable. And you had, Indian bears turning random white people into Indians, and robots and nerds turning into a cybernetic organism, and you think back.
Cybernetic organism was what you were trying to
I was
get
trying
out?
for symbiotic and cybernetic in one, and I got cybernetic, which is not a real word, and I won't bring it up again. I apologize, universe. But you go back and you're thinking, you're like, oh wait, this is vaguely horrible. And now you're reading it now, and you're like, no, it's truly horrible.
And why is Danny in jail? What did I miss there?
Nothing. You missed nothing. You missed nothing by not reading this book. You missed nothing by not meeting these characters again. Anybody who's sitting there going, I wish they had more Cannonball series out there, deserves a kick to the head.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? Wait till they bring in Richter and Boom Boom to really make it fully, completely hell on earth.
Actually, I think Boom Boom's an X Factor.
Rapture.
Having established that that's Dookie, I'll be buying number 3 for you.
I hate you so much.
I'll get you 2 copies. One to give away and one to wipe your ass with.
If anyone would like to comment and write in as to why Cannonball has and will forever be missed when he's not around in the X-Men universe, I will send the second Dookie copy to you instead of wiping my ass with it.
So we go to another pointless attempt to reestablish glory years like Bruce fucking Springsteen. X-Men Forever. The premise of which is Chris Claremont picking up precisely where he left off, out of continuity, as if he had never left.
Because, of course, he has not changed at all.
And you know what? Reading this book, he has not changed at all in 18 years.
That's not true, and I can prove it.
How can you prove it?
When he stopped writing, you were still vaguely interested in the X-Men. You are not now interested.
No, not in the least.
My thing is, honestly, first off, the whole concept is so
Concept of which?
that you can just go back, ignore continuity, ignore everything that's happened to all the characters, and just start writing, and people will be like, oh, I'll happily jump back on to this pointless book. Like, look, let's say it's a huge success. What if it was great?
It would still be out of continuity. And
Yeah,
still
all they're going
wouldn't
to do is
count.
start retconning it. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
And all power to Claremont. If you were able to pull it off, it'd still be a bad idea. But for the purposes of fortune, he doesn't pull it off, so it doesn't damn well matter. Because it ain't that friggin' good. Is it wretched? No. Because Claremont is a talented enough writer that he's never done anything truly abysmal, to my knowledge. And Sovereign 7 was shockingly better than I wanted it to be. Is it good? No. Do I own any? No. But when you're reading it and like, I want this to suck, and it's not sucking. Why, mother? Why? This is on par with Sovereign 7.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't see why this was. I mean, just give him a new book, let him go to town, call it even.
People are sentimental. They're trying to, recatch lightning in a bottle, which doesn't work. And by the way, reading this, I had forgotten how much I hate Gambit.
I had never forgotten how much I hated
This
Gambit.
brought it right back home. Like, oh wait, dude, you're annoying. Y'all suck.
Hom. He was always calling everybody Hom.
But on the other hand, this does bring back into focus how much better an X-Men team is with characters you actually like.
Yes, there is that.
So maybe in the X universe, we should lose 3 or 4 books and have a couple of teams filled with actual X-Men that people want to read about.
And that's going to be a point of discussion later on. Not tonight, but the saturation thing.
You're all about using the saturation word.
It's what's happening. There are way too many books about the same damn thing over and over and over again.
They sell.
Yeah, so they sell. But I don't know how long G.I. Joe is going to keep selling.
I loved G.I. Joe when I was a kid. I even really enjoyed the comic at first.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I even got the secret missions. You know, I bought extra copies of number 2 because I thought the same thing would happen with secret missions as happened in the original G.I. Joe, where everybody bought the first one and then under-ordered the second one, so it
I had
got
the second
underprinted. So
I had to get the giant treasury edition of the first one because I never found the first one, but I did have the second one.
but I was
They're all
digging
gone
that.
now, of course, but
Yeah, I was digging that one up until the 50s.
yeah. The Eskimo Quinn.
I don't remember Eskimo Quinn.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
I really don't.
The all silent storm.
That one I
Snake
remember
Eyes issue, number 21.
so fondly. But they're still going after these goddamn spider things that they introduced in the first fucking episode. And he smashes it with a rock after hundreds of rounds of ammo couldn't penetrate it.
Dude, nothing beats rock. Good old rock. I learned that from Bart
Paper
Simpson.
beats rock, motherfucker.
Well, Bart Simpson never learned that. Neither have I.
Well. And then these incredibly strange words that the Scotsmen are saying. I still can't get it straight in my head what they're saying. I got to say it out loud and then try to think of what it could be that they're saying.
See, I've actually read Train Spotting as opposed to have just seen the movie. So I have some experience in turning that back into English. Nay means no. That's a big help right there. No, it's the one thing I have to give credit to this book for, and it's a tiny thing, is that they are bringing random tiny G.I. Joe characters back into the forefront. Recondo? Who?
The Ranger.
Leatherneck? I mean,
The Marine.
You know, right, but where's Gung Ho, the Marine everybody remembers from the damn cartoon? They're throwing other characters in here, which, you know, to their credit. But
Yeah,
all
that
this reminds me of is, and I know you're not a huge fan of this, but when Howard Chaykin redid The Shadow back in the 80s.
I read that.
Yeah, but one of the first things he did is all of the Shadow's original agents.
Supporting cast.
Exactly. From the books and the radio serials and all that, he slaughtered off early on. Wouldn't you like to see some G.I. Joes bite the damn dust at this point?
I totally would, but then you can't sell dead action figures.
You ain't selling a whole ton of new ones.
They're gonna be when the movie comes out in a few weeks.
Alright, that's valid, but still...
And I expect to see a bump in sales on this after that, but probably not for long.
I gotta say, though, you're locking yourself in with that because, of course, again, you know that none of them can die. In a military super book...
Where bullets are flying left and right all day long.
Like,
nobody's gonna die.
A few episodes ago, we talked about the Nam.
Yeah.
And
where everybody died.
anyone could die in the Nam. Go to read Garth Ennis's Punisher. You'll never know. Micro takes it in the head. Nothing is sacred, but here at G.I. Joe, nothing is actually in danger.
They might. I mean, they got a chance to change that. A very, very, very small one, and I would not bet any significant amount of anything on that. But I mean, they could do it.
In the end, it's going to be just like the current Muppet movies. No, break it down. Say what you will. Say this gets to 25 issues.
Yeah.
You're going to have your core Joes of 7 or 8, and then they'll bring in the occasional other character who will disappear afterwards, and you go right back to the core team. All right? It's just like the Muppets with Hawk as Kermit and Jay as Piggy and Scarlet as whatever the fuck it is. But at the end of the day, you're only going to have your main cast and then slip in individuals for cameos. G.I. Joe equals the Muppets.
But you know, going back again to the you can't make computers exciting in a story routine, little minor inconsistency with actual science.
Uh-huh.
And I know you hate it when I bring this stuff up.
Yes, I do.
Because the first thing you say, it's a comic book.
It is generally my
And
response.
the second
yes.
thing you say is, nobody but you fucking knows that.
Well, other people do, but they probably don't listen. What is your point?
Zettabytes?
What the fuck is a zettabyte?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I work with computers all day long. I have worked with computers all day long for 12 years.
You are a terrifying man.
I understand scientific notation. I understand metric scale notation.
You couldn't come up with a better term, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not an English major. And I don't know what a zettabyte is. I know what a megabyte is. I know what a gigabyte is. I know what a terabyte is.
Do you know what a giggity byte is?
I also know what a petabyte is.
Yeah.
So
Petabyte is
you're
when
really
you
telling me...
Rub your dog the wrong way. And
That's not it. You're really telling me that little spider fucking thing downloaded 1 trillion gigabytes of information? A trillion gig?
I didn't say it. Don't look at me.
Zeta? Are you sure about Zeta? I'm going to look it up because I don't think Zeta's real.
Hey, but... And I've listened to everything you've said, and it was dull. But I listened. Here's my only question for you.
Yeah?
Have you ever worked on a computer in Scotland?
No. That
So,
doesn't...
you don't know that the Scottish use zettabytes.
There's no such thing as a zettabyte. I don't care if you're in downtown Edinburgh.
All right, Grant
There's
Morrison
no
uses zettabytes
fucking
all the time.
Zettabyte. He does not say that.
I am, yep.
He
Oh,
totally
Sick
does
Boy,
not say that.
Spud,
Spud doesn't know what the fuck he's saying anyway.
Begbie, they all use them. It's very Scottish.
They do not use zettabytes.
That's all I'm saying.
In Scotland.
You don't know.
I totally know.
No, you don't. You believe, and you're 99% sure, but you don't know.
I know.
Nah.
I'm going to look this up.
Exactly.
And
that's why you don't know.
You know what the results are going to be?
Well, that you'll be right.
0 hits on zettabytes.
Well, you might get a G.I. Joe comic.
Yeah, I might. So they finally let Snake Eyes back.
I don't
into
even
the
feel like
fucking
reviewing
action.
this, honestly. Like, this book is appalling.
They finally let Snake Eyes back in the action, and
he kicks G.I. Joe's ass.
And Scarlet is mad because people are questioning it, his actions and how she feels about him. And
Nobody trusts mutes.
Well, why should you?
I mean, Teen Titans didn't trust a mute.
It's already hard enough to trust a guy with a mask.
That's true, but isn't he like horribly deformedly burned?
Yes.
He's like the Toxic Avenger.
You know what? That would be, rewatching Toxic Avenger would be better than rereading this book right now.
I defy you to test that, sir.
You know what? One thing that Toxie had over this G.I. Joe book?
Yeah?
Toxic Avenger had boobies in it.
Yeah, but you're older now, okay? Just random tits is not necessarily a good thing.
That depends on the day.
Wow! You heard it here last, folks. Tech Jedi is a filthy prevert. Now, how much longer are you buying this book?
This is it. This is it. Don't need any more.
No.
Now that she's sliced up Destro in her little Scarlett O'Hara outfit.
But, are you going to go see the movie with Sienna West as a Baroness? That's a yes, kids.
You know what? It totally isn't. I will download it. I want to see her in that outfit. I don't want to see entire scenes played out of what I saw in the trailer. And you can say what you want. It's a popcorn movie. Leave it alone.
I didn't say any of that.
Not you.
Oh.
It's a popcorn movie. That don't mean it is required not to make fucking sense. Or required to go so far over the top that it takes you out of the enjoyment right then and there. You know?
Gotta go back in time.
All right, you're getting on my nerves with that.
It's entirely what I was going for. Moving on.
Irredeemable, number 3.
This is a
Very
great book.
creepy opening here. Ooh, the Plutonian standing over a couple of people making it and giving them orders about what to say while
Yeah, that was
doing
strange. That was highly strange.
That's incredibly creepy.
Also, kind of weird considering Boom is 99% kid market book, 1% creepy Plutonian sex game book.
Well, they got to have that edgy thing. It's like having, Marky Mark in, New Kids. They always got to have that one edgy guy who's,
I loathe having to point this out to you.
the brooding new kid.
Marky Mark was not in the New Kids.
Whoever the fuck it was. One of the Wahlbergs. Donnie. Anyway.
Oh, dear
They always
God.
got to have that one on there.
Oh,
He's
my
got that
God,
shitty...
you've broken it down to the New Kids on the Block.
He's got that shitty nanny goat facial hair. He's always whipping up on that Harley. Just to let you know, he's a motorcycle guy in a moped band.
That's not your line, is it?
It doesn't have to be. It's funny.
All right, so here we have Plutonian meets some supervillains, and Scylla and Charybdis.
Charybdis.
Wow.
How did you not know that?
How do you know that that's how you pronounce it?
How is Charybdis?
It's Greek. It could be any sort of fucking variation on letters.
In Greek, the CH is always K, just like Italian.
Why the fuck do you know that?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, you have been...
I read.
Well, I've seen what you read.
Oh, totally not listening to you.
All right.
Scylla and Charybdis.
Anyway, explain to me exactly what their powers are. Yeah.
Well, if you were to take things literally, Scylla would be the unstoppable force, and Charybdis would be the immovable object.
Or they could be, things in the water if you want to go all the way back. But I really enjoy this book. I like where they're going with it. I think what they're doing in the Plutonian is interesting. Although, as I said earlier, the variations on Justice League characters is iffy at this point.
Yeah. They're skirting kind of close here and there on copyright infringement.
Not even that. I mean, so many comic books do that at this point, and so many evil alternate universe versions that I don't think there's any court case for that kind of thing anymore. But it would be nice to read something where there were a whole new powered group instead of a Superman figure, a Batman figure.
Yeah, there is that.
But these two guys that they throw in the middle of it have no real correlation out of Zan and Jaina that I can think of. But they don't do anything interesting either.
Now, what did you think of the little test that he gave him?
Retarded. I really liked this book. I liked the whole logic thing. I liked how the villains were trying to figure out if Plutonian was on their side, and if so, if they could use that. I really enjoyed it. But I'm going to touch anything that this super-powered jackass throws in my hand and tells me, I'm handing you. If you're a super villain, the first thing you're thinking is trap.
Yes.
So if somebody hands you a button saying, if you hit this, I might die, you're not thinking, I should hit this button. You're like, this does not seem like a logical expression.
No, they were incredibly stupid with that. But the real trick, as we see on the next page, was that, yeah, he's absolutely going to kill him. But it's blowing up the entire hideout doing it. Ah! And poor Scylla seems to have lost it during that situation.
They both did. One is in, one runs in. Then you have the masks right next to each other in the sad little shot. That was kind of forced. And that, to be fair, almost worries me about the future of this book in terms of where he's going with it. Because I really enjoyed what they've done thus far. It's had kind of a Straczynski Rising Stars feel. I mean, there's some really creative stuff happening.
That's a very good point.
But that was this was a stumble as far as I can. It wasn't a horrible book, but there were definitely a couple of stumbling points.
And then he turns creepy again on the last couple of panels.
Yeah, there's some more creepiness.
Yeah, what's with this guy? Is he
We don't know, and that's the point.
It's so creepy. And we're not going to talk about Dead Run because that just seemed like, what?
Yeah, I find that extras at the end of a book are A, hard to get into because you don't care.
Right.
And B, often not written in a way to get you into them. Like they're doing this little short, they pick a couple of pages out, but not every book has 3 to 4 pages that are going to get you involved.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it earlier with Power Girl, and I wasn't reading those like, oh my god, I have to pick up Power Girl. And I'm not dying to pick up Dead Run or Manhunter. Oh, by the way, Paul Kirk's Manhunter back 25 years ago was a crappy backup then, too. So, the next thing we'll be getting Nemesis, and I'll really be drinking.
Unwritten number 2.
You love this book, don't you?
To a degree. I mean, anything that fucks with the Potter, I can deal with. You know, it's not a bad thing generally. But, again, starting off creepy. The unicorn telling Sue Sparrow she can stroke its horn. Yeah, that's...
Didn't they do that in Robot Chicken,
yes,
for God's
they totally
sake?
did.
It's just magic mayonnaise. That was filthy. That is a filthy toy show that you love.
Blame Seth Green. He's a funny motherfucker, but occasionally it just gets vile.
No, I'm very curious where this book is going, but I would like it to go a tad faster.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of it ain't me, help me, you must be Tommy, you're magic.
But it is
look,
it is
there's
interesting.
a blackmail thing.
It just feels like the beginning of Sandman and the beginning of Books of Magic and the beginning of a lot of different Vertigo books.
But at least we now know Jesus' middle name.
Well, I know it starts with an H.
Yeah. It's revealed right here.
I don't even recall that.
Harrison.
Jesus Harrison Christ?
That's what he says. Which just goes to show you, Han Solo is the Messiah.
I have no comment.
I
It does
didn't think
explain
you
a
would.
lot. I can prove that it's not the case, though, with 4 words. 6 days, 7 nights.
Ugh.
Harrison Ford and Anne Hesh.
The one movie Anne Hesh ever looked decent in.
Good God, who are you?
I said one. I said decent. I didn't say Anne Heche was a fucking rockin' babe in that show.
Which would sound more like your norm, I'll give you that. Moving on from Anne Heche as rapidly as possible. I assume you're going to continue with the unwritten at this point.
Tom Taylor talking to this Sue woman about his parents, who, you know, he thinks might have actually been Russian.
Well, why were they in a
Eastern
hurry?
European. Stop that. Doofus. So she tells him almost the truth. She gives the old analogy of the tablecloth and, you know, distracting and illusions are nothing but distractions and blah blah blah. So he goes down this staircase of eternity. He just counts hundreds of them and then goes back up like 6. And she's like, see, the world isn't what you thought, isn't it? I lied. Very, you know, this stuff has happened before. I'm going to show you something unique that you'll think is one thing, but it'll really be something totally different. Ba-boom!
Where are you going with this?
I don't know, but where I'm going is that scene, despite its details, was nothing I hadn't seen anyplace else.
Yeah, Jacob's Ladder, any number of different medias and cultures. It's not a terrible book. It's an intriguing book, but it needs to go to somewhere new. Like, are they fictional characters? Because that would be something different. Although they did do that in Hellblazer.
Yeah.
Which was great when that guy got dragged down into hell by Winnie the Pooh. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
And I'm sure you enjoyed the Holmes reference.
Yes.
I knew you would. Reichenbach Falls.
No, there's some definitely interesting things going on in the book right now, but I do need it to get there sooner.
Yes, it's a relatively thick book, and there's a whole lot of talking, but there's not a whole lot of development.
It's only 2 issues in, so I can't fault it, but at the same time, if at 4 issues I don't know more than I know now, I may have a problem with it.
And yet, Power Girl's 2 issues in, and you're like, fuck that book!
Yeah, different style.
Alright, finishing off tonight, because this is actually ending up quite a long one that I figured would be quite a short one. Buck Rogers.
See, this one I'll say, fuck that book on issue 1.
I can't see how you can't like Buck Rogers, man.
I don't like Gil Gerard. I mean, I see no
This
reason.
ain't Gil Gerard, motherfucker.
No, it's got a cyber bear in it, so it's theoretically worse. Bring Twinkie in and call it a damn day.
Tweaky. There's
Right.
no N there.
I'm so happy that I didn't get that correct.
I don't know how you can't dig
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
it. The girls love it when you go wiggy, wiggy, wiggy.
Wee, wee, wee. Yes, we're quoting 10-year-old beer commercials.
No, I agree with you on the bear thing. I saw absolutely no point to have a fucking cybernetic bear here. Like,
Plus, didn't it just
being
feel like
a
something...
cybernetic bear wasn't enough. He's also got 2 guns.
Didn't it just feel like something out of a Spawn comic book?
It did. It totally fucking did.
Cyber bear.
I didn't need that.
Uh-oh, it's Overclaw the Cyber Bear.
Overclaw. And, you know, not to take anything away, because I'm sure there's some jack-off out there saying, well, I guess you could write better, huh? Scott Beatty's getting paid for this stuff. He must be doing something right. But, you know what? When the best name that you can come up with for a bear is Ursinius, like there hasn't been 18 bajillion different bears with variations on Ursa in their name.
Well, it's a very popular bear name. It's like, the Bob of bears.
You know what? There just ain't anything else to do after that. So we're going to call it even.
Yes, that's our Buck Rogers review is fuck bears.
So remember, kids, if you are listening to this podcast, although I highly doubt that you are, and you do live in the state of Connecticut, and I doubt even further that you are, don't forget that we'll be at Connecticon wandering around.
And I very much doubt that we will.
I will be wandering around.
Well, you do wonder.
I'll be handing out promotional materials.
And I wonder.
I'll be buying tons of books. I'll be taking pictures of twacked out cosplayers. And maybe you'd like to be a guest star on The Mean Geek. Who knows? Give us a buzz. Later.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody. Bye. Spoil your dinner.